Last week we talked about social media and the creators of social media having a god complex, right? That they're creating this thing, they are birthing this thing, and they have this sort of god complex about what they can do. They've never asked the question what they should do, but what they can do, and they just want to push the boundaries and explore what they can do and what they can create. Go ahead, Nia.
I think in a response just to that last comment, I think it's only a god if people worship it. And
Mm.
because I think we've gotten
Mm.
so
Mm.
idolizing, because going back, I guess, what was talked about last week, and just like the social media addiction, um, people only give, even when it comes to like television shows, I mean, like what you said earlier, like if you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like it, or you don't listen to it, you don't have to cancel it because you were offended. Like, just turn it off. And so the more that we feed into something, the more money that we give it, the more that we click those advertisements, then naturally that fills their pockets.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Yeah. And what I wanted to say was you're not, I like that you brought up the idea, not necessarily a god complex, we don't know, maybe it's just good old-fashioned money, and that triggered me to think in terms of, yes, the other thing that you have to remember about these guys, whether it's Zuckerberg or Dorsey or any of them, is that they're competitive, right? What fueled the Microsoft Apple debate for years wasn't money, it was the fact that Bill Gates and Steve Jobs were both very competitive people who wanted to win. Now, the metric for winning obviously was, who buys your product the most, but ultimately they wanted to win. And Steve Jobs was creating things like the iPad and the iPhone and things like that because he wanted to win. He saw areas where he's like, I want to dominate that market. And so you're right, maybe it isn't always a god complex. Maybe sometimes it's just old-fashioned competition or that desire for money.